Are you stressed out about your finances? Living beyond your means? Living backward instead of forward? Maxing out your credit card and living from paycheck to paycheck? Continue watching this video and I will share with you proven tips, not limited to, that will help you to act right with your money.
Gotta crave you, all I wanna see is you. They wanna try shit you, but they cannot accuse you. They wanna see you, but they can never be you. They know they can't have you, so they wanna abuse you. I want you, yeah, I want you. The mother girls, they can't handle me. Everybody hating,
Highly fam, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Shelly Fullerton and I'm a lifestyle vlogger. If you haven't subscribed as yet, I invite you to subscribe. Turn that post notification bell on all so that you wouldn't miss another upload. Welcome to the family, and if you're returning, thank you so much for the love and support. Today's video is on financial literacy. It's a passion of mine, and I decided that I should share with you a few tips that will help you to improve your life. And my outfit, I know you can't see the entire thing, but I hope I'm dressed right for this video. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Are you saving for unexpected events? Can you be financially secure even if you don't make a lot of money? The answers to these questions is the beginning of financial literacy. Financial literacy deals with the basics of everyday financial living. It is really the understanding of money in and money out. Money in is termed as income. It is what you earn via investment. How do you make your money? First of all, apart from your 8 to 4 or your 9 to 5, what is it that you do well? What is your passion? What is it that you do love doing? How about turning that into a second or a third or fourth source of income and build a successful business? Some of us would welcome this idea because we weren't as fortunate or born with gold spoon in our mouth, as the saying goes. We have learned to set goals, and not only just goals but SMART goals. You can go and check the acronym for that. We learn to set SMART goals and go about achieving them. You need to ask yourself the question, how can you become more valuable to the people around you, to your employers, to your friends, in your community? How can you add value to the lives of the individuals? What you need to remember is that you don't get paid for your effort, but you get paid for the values that you add to people's lives or the values you created for others. And managing that, money is just as important to earning it. Expenses are your money going out. How do you spend the monies that you've earned? Do you know where your money goes? Most of us earned our money, then when it's spent, we can't account for it. We don't know how we've spent the money. So that is the question. How do you account for the monies you've spent? Many people cannot account. If we can teach a young person one financial literacy skill, it would be for them to prepare their own personal budget. There's an app, I Save Money. You can find that on the Android Play Store if you're an Android user. I'm not sure about the iPhone. I was going to show you a little demo of how to use that app. This is what you do. You go in and create a budget. You choose your start date and your end date. In this case, I'm going to choose February 1st and the end date is February the 28th. Here you have all the different categories. You're going to add your salary and whatever other income you would have made before. You're going to enter that, or that is what I would do. And then there is some expenses now that you can enter. Your rent is fixed. Let's say it's $2,500. Your daily living, let's estimate that to be about $2,500 as well. Transportation, let's say $600. Then you have your entertainment, healthcare, and those are categories you could change and rename to suit you can personalize them actually. And what you can do is that after you would have set your budget, now you can go back into those items and enter every time you would have made a transaction. So let's say, for example, in daily living, you would have spent X amount at a particular place on a particular date. You can choose your date and you would have spent that money. So you enter that you enter your expense. There's a comment section, there's a note section that you can place whatever little reminders you want for future references. And then after that entry, the app is going to show you how much money is remained for you to spend on that particular category. And you can even swap out money from one category into the next, but make sure not to touch your savings. So I hope I've given you enough information. Go ahead, download the app, get familiar with it. It's a good thing to have. Some budget basics is that you need your expenses to be lower, your fixed costs to be lower than the money you earned. You know, you cannot spend more than what you earned, if you understand what I'm saying. Some of us do spend more than what we earn, and that is what causes us to end up in debt. In budgeting, some people go with the 50-30-20 rule. 50% is allocated to the fixed expenses such as rent, utility bills, housing, etc. The 30% goes towards savings and paying off of debt, and the 20% goes towards entertainment. In your fixed costs as well, you should have tithes allocated, right? Because tithes is a part of that is a fixed cost that you should budget for. Usually I don't use the 50-30-20 rule. Maybe I should start, but what I basically do is do my earnings, take away my fixed. I make sure that my fixed costs are much lower than what I earned, and then I make sure that my tithe and offering is included. And of course I have a savings, but I don't really have a percentage per se, right? So I guess that is something I need to start doing, applying the 50-30-20 rule. When you're not disorganized, you'll find yourself playing catch up when it comes to your finances. Because of that, it can become very debilitating when you get behind. A new paycheck comes or your bonus comes and you don't get to enjoy the fruit of it because you're busy paying off for that toy you would have just purchased. And by toy I mean either entertainment, shopping, traveling. You have taken those things on credit. You live behind instead of forward. This will have a severe impact on your stress level and your incapacity for enjoying life. Step 1, you need to maximize your earnings through budgeting. If you start with the layering of financial priorities and the managing of your month-to-month cash flow, that will be a major first step in financial literacy. Now you have assets. It is money or property that you own that has value. Assets are stuff that you own, from a savings account to a car or a house. However, the pathway to building asset starts with savings. My best advice I can give you is that if you're in primary school and you're looking at this, start with a monthly or a weekly savings with X amount of figure that you're going to save every month, whether it's $5 or $10 or $100. Start with that and develop that habit. Get into that practice of putting aside X amount of money every month. Save regularly for unexpected expenditure like car. You have a car, you know sometime in the future your car is going to break down. You need to have money for the repairs. You may lose your cell phone. You need money to buy back a phone. You may fall ill. You need to cover your medical expenses. Save that money into an account that you can see, because you know some of us, when we see that we can't see money, you know, it's like an itch. I advise you leave it alone. Just set up a standing order where the money can come out from your regular account where you receive your salary or your earnings, and you put it into a savings account that you wouldn't touch on a daily basis or on a regular basis. Your car insurance is due every year. Put aside money every month, so at the end of the year you have that money to pay, so you're actually living forward and not backward. What you should do is make your savings a fixed expense. It comes from your earnings. It's like you're paying yourself. This method will actually allow you to live a life of minimal financial stress and anxiety. It will help you to avoid financial troubles and pitfalls. Step 3, you need to have diverse plans, diverse investment plans. As you build savings, diversify your investments. You heard what they said about placing all your eggs in one basket? Imagine if that basket was to fall. You see, you get the pick, right? You get the pick. I trust you did. Those of you who are into stock market and stuff will get this, that you don't only invest in a particular stock market, because if that crashes, then everything is gone. So you need to invest in several different things, so you'll know that even if the value of one drop, there's a possibility that you'll have several others that are still making profit and you're still getting some form of return. Now we have liability. Your liability is a debt you owe to a person or a business. We get into financial issues by constantly spending more than what we earn. Credit is readily available today, but it can be a bad thing and it can be a good thing. It's good to take credit to enhance your ability to undertake attractive investments. For a university degree, because you know you're investing into a career, a home that will retain some form of value, and a car that you can set up for private hire, and it's that way you can have some form of return coming back to pay for the loan that you would have taken. I believe there's a major difference between buying something with credit that is an asset via consuming something whereby the asset will be gone the minute the fun is over. For example, a line, you go and buy drinks, and after that event is over, the asset is gone, and then the debt is still there waiting, staring you in the face. You have to wait on that paycheck to take that money to pay for something you did in the past that doesn't even have value now. So that money is gone with no real returns. As opposed to borrowing money to buy a home, you are purchasing an asset that retains some type of value. Assuming that a repayment is affordable, it enables you to buy a very expensive asset without having to save the whole amount, but just making a sacrifice in saving the down payment and take on the debt of paying less than or equal to your rent. You get what I'm saying? Another example is that student loan is a great investment to your career. But if you're going to take your student loan and go traveling, go shopping, go liming, think about it. What's going to happen? You have your student loan to pay. Step 4 is limiting your expenses and your liabilities. When you spend recklessly more than what you earn, your financial anxiety will build as your wealth declines. And then you will have to make the largest interest payment on items you'd have already consumed. As a general rule, if you pay for your entertainment, your shopping, your traveling with credit, the asset will be gone, but you still have the debt. You are only making yourself poorer and poorer and poorer. The avoidance of a credit card debt early is a blessing that only you can give to yourself. You see, the worst ramification of financial debt is emotional. You will lose your joy, you'll be stressed, and you will be depressed. An advice to you as well is to check your credit card and all the subscriptions that you might have checked into. Go back through all those subscriptions and cancel them, subscriptions that are not even needed. For the checklist purposes, income, money that you earn, money that comes in, maximize your earning ability by having a second source or a third, fourth source of income, save up to build an asset. Put together a financial plan in terms of diversifying your investment. Limit your expenses and liabilities to things that increase your assets. If you think that this video has motivated you in some way, if it has been beneficial, I encourage you to give this video a thumbs up if you've made it this far, and you haven't subscribed as yet, I invite you to subscribe, hit that post notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. Do check out the other videos on my channel. Until then, stay safe guys. Bye.
Temperature. Oh yeah, I got a table for two. I got everything I want but you. I've waited my life for you. You give me that temperature. Oh yeah, I got a table for two.